Good evening, everybody. Today's a great day, because it is the first episode of the world's greatest podcast of all time, Mid Ones. Welcome. Today we have our host, me, Omar and Crespo and
William. Just call me William.
It's just William. And today we have a great guest with us here for the first interview of the entire podcast, the first of many. We have Arturo Castrodad.
Hi guys, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Great. Fantastic.
Today, it is definitely perfect start. This is definitely our first try. We definitely did not struggle for everything.
Yes.
Just great. Just to start off, tell us about yourself. Like a little bit about yourself.
About what? Because I have a lot of things about myself.
Who are you?
Well, my name is Arturo Jose Castrodad Rodriguez. I am the youngest son of Dr. Jose Castrodad and Doctora Raquel Rodriguez de Castrodad. Born in 1985. I'm 37 years old. And currently the CEO of your school.
CEO, that's
Pretty high up.
Yes.
Pretty high up.
You run the school, essentially.
Basically, yeah. A lot of responsibility.
A lot.
Definitely.
Could you take us through a day of the school CEO or school director? Like, what happens on a day-to-day basis?
Sure. Well, when you're in a school, especially this type of school, we usually, specifically, my job is to oversee how everything's going. Not only the academic part, but also the administrative part. Usually, I get here 6:30. I talk to the guys, especially maintenance. I talk to Peter, to Francisco, and to Harold. So
shout out.
We shout out to Harold, Francisco, and Peter. Yeah, definitely. They keep the school clean and tidy. That's very important. And obviously,
very good job.
To Mealy and all her staff, definitely we have a day staff and a night staff to keep the school clean. Those people are very important. So we start the day, especially working on how the school is looking, right? Yeah. So when you guys come here, you find it clean, you find it nice, you find it that we're constantly painting, we're constantly looking to have everything in order.
Constantly renovating,
Constantly renovating. This is a big place, right?
Several buildings, like 2 or 3.
Yeah, definitely.
3.
We got different buildings, so we got right now 3 guys working full-time at it. So I manage their day. We work under schedule and different things. There's a lot of things going on right now. Painting over here, moving stuff in the 3rd floor, throwing things to trash that doesn't work anymore. Yeah. And then after that, when I have different types of meeting with Burgos, with Normita, which is the CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Yeah. I talk a lot with the president, my dad. So we basically, my main job is to foresee that everything that we plan for the school, which is based on our mission, right? What would we like for you guys to become in the future? That's our main mission. We want to create that you guys feel empowered once you get out of 12th grade and into reality, to have everything that you guys need to be successful. So in order for that to happen, we need to work with the academics, with administration, and all together work for you guys to have the best experience, the best educational experience here in Radians School.
Definitely. Thank you. Talking about, you mentioned earlier moving stuff throughout the 3rd floor. I did notice some pretty big changes around the school, the different schedule, new classes. Could you tell us what brought you, or what influenced you, or what's the word?
What inspired you?
Inspired you to make such changes as like the addition of the showcase classes, or like the new classes like art and French, and basically what made you move things around?
Well, the pandemic's over, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we want, right?
Definitely.
So, in that same vibe, where we were saying, like, we got to come back, man. This is, we've been 2 years almost, right? More than that. And
2 or 3 years.
Almost 3.
Yeah, and, the academics is important, of course, but we want to have something more holistic for you guys to have different things to do, not only academics, because we're not all mathematics, Spanish, English, history, right? We also are human beings that feel and want to do something that motivates us, right?
Exactly.
So that's where we started with soccer again, started with using the pool again, softball, and adding art classes, things that make you feel more like a person, not like a robot, right?
Exactly.
So that's kind of like where the inspiration came from.
It's crazy you mentioned it, 3 years, because something, I realized I was working with pre-kinder children for the community hours thing the senior does. And I realized something. They're like 3 years old, 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And when you realize that these kids were born into this situation. They were born into,
They haven't had the same freedom as us.
not exact freedom, but they didn't.
The same experience.
Experience, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you realize that these kids didn't even live through Maria or like Hurricane Maria. Like that to me is crazy.
It makes me feel old.
You are.
I'm not old.
Don't talk about that here.
I'm 15. I'm 15.
Definitely. We
We're
definitely
all
should
young
talk.
here.
Yes.
Definitely.
So yeah, I feel you, but kids that are 3 years old, 4 years old, they really don't feel that much.
Yeah, they
I
don't
think.
Understand what's going on.
Yeah, of course. I think they're better off than us.
That's also another thing that's crazy. They're gonna read about this. My
Yeah.
dad keeps mentioning to me that like what we're living through, or all of us are living through, it's history.
Correct.
And sooner or later, we're gonna see this history in our history books, or like textbooks. So they're gonna read about it.
Yeah,
Like imagine I know we've all seen jokes about it, but imagine your kid coming up to you like, "Hey, could you tell me about the year 2020? It's a French fart project." The day that I was like, "Oh my god."
I'll feel so old.
Or 2017 with
Yeah,
Maria.
2017.
It's already in the textbook. We already talked about it in history class with Maldonado.
You did?
Shout out.
I shouted to Mr. Maldonado.
For real.
That's cool. So yeah, definitely. Crisis and difficult situations is very important to create resilient men and women as well, of course. Because if we're always in cloud nine, then we don't actually miss anything, and then everything that's good is kind of like, okay, that's good. But we need conflict in our life to become
to grow,
stronger, to grow. That's very important. And once you understand that life isn't fair, then you're gonna see it through another eyes, and you're gonna be able to grow even further as a human being.
Definitely.
That's really like something to sit on. Like, if you don't pass through anything in life, it's basically not life at that point.
Exactly.
You're just there doing basically not nothing, but like
you're not accomplishing anything.
Exactly.
In that way. You're not building yourself. You're just moving along.
Exactly. You're not a leader. You're a follower.
Sure.
Hey, sometimes it pays to be a follower. I'm just saying.
Well, it depends on what you want to do, right? And what
Leadership
you
is
wanna be.
overrated.
It depends on what you want to be in your
Exactly.
life. If you want to be a follower, if you want to be sheep, then you be a sheep.
Hey,
But you're not going to accomplish anything.
Sheep live. They live.
They don't.
They don't.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't want a responsibility, you definitely don't want to be a leader. But if you want to accomplish things that go beyond yourself, then yeah, of course, be a leader.
Be a leader.
Yeah, exactly. You wanna do stuff in life, be a leader. Don't be a follower.
Well,
You don't want to suck. Be a leader.
here's the thing. Here's the reality of things. Leadership is well around. It's sometimes you're a follower and sometimes you're a leader. You're not always a leader. I'm not always a leader. We're here in Radiance. Sometimes I'm a follower when other people tell me other good ideas, and I say, okay, let's go with that. Because leaders have to be open to possibilities.
Exactly.
You cannot be.
Just not tell people what to do. You have to work with them.
That's all-rated, right? That's more dictatorial, and that doesn't work right now with us millennials, right? I don't know if you guys are millennials.
No,
What
we're
are you
Gen
guys?
Z.
No,
You're
we're
Gen
Gen
Z.
Z.
You're Gen Z.
So, but it doesn't work with us millennials and then Gen Z, right?
Definitely.
We have to be able to create an environment where people feel safe to talk and bring new ideas, because what we want is creativity. When we
Yeah.
are creative, we bring new knowledge and we bring new technologies into our workplace. And that's what you guys learning here. That's why you guys have to work together, even sometimes you don't like it, right?
We work
But it's
together,
very
baby.
important
Together.
because once you are out of here and in your working life, you're gonna have to be able to work with other people.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to socialize. You have to interact with others. You have to
Yeah.
understand empathy. It's what
Yeah.
we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks.
But
Feeling
what's empathy?
the ability to see the other person's perspective, like in a way, walk in their shoes,
Yeah.
see what they would feel in a scenario, and I could tell it's been like a huge theme around like the last few weeks with everything going on,
Yeah.
and it is important. It's definitely important. It's basically how you interact with people. It's how you make relationships. You understand how they would feel in certain situations.
That's very important because and it's a very good distinction between empathy and sympathy.
Mhm.
Because sympathy is feeling like he's feeling. Empathy is that I understand what you're feeling, but I don't necessarily I don't necessarily feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. We're definitely professional. No, moving along.
Sure.
You've been at us, I would say, a while. How long have you been interested in working in education, or maybe as a teacher, or maybe as a school director? How long have you had this mindset?
Well, my mindset, so I always liked motivating people. I always liked working in teams. I always liked administration. It's definitely been there for me. I obviously live here my entire life, of course. Study here since pre-kinder and graduated, and been working here for the past 15 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously, my motivation here as a leader is to help others become better versions of themselves.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't focus on me. I focus on them. I focus on their necessities, not what they want, not what you want, but what you need.
What you need, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, maybe focus a little bit more on you. In this room, essentially full of. Wait, are you a scout?
Yes.
In
Yes,
this
scout.
room full of scouts.
Yes.
I know you were a scout. Were you always a scout, like since Cub? Like, how was that journey for you?
Yeah, I
And
was,
did you ever make it to like Eagle rank?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. How was that journey? Can you tell
I
me?
was I was a Cop Scout for I think 2 years, and then on 6th grade I became a scout, and love every minute of it.
Yeah.
Went to Oaxaca, went to Camla Noche, yeah, did the Brotherhood.
At the Arrow?
Yeah, did both arrows.
Wow.
Nice.
Shout out Boy Scouts.
Oh God. Shout out Del Valle.
Yeah.
Shout out Eduardo. Shout out Boy Scouts.
Shout out Jandel, you know.
Oh,
Gotta
Yandel,
appreciate it.
Yangi. Hey, and the other scouts too. The girls.
Shout out all the new ones.
All the new ones. You
Scout
know?
G. Yeah.
Join. Tropa 453. It's very fun and not sponsored.
It'll definitely teach you some morals. in
Yeah,
life.
definitely. It'll teach you some morals. It's
Yeah.
also just fun.
Yeah, it's really fun to be.
Yeah.
in the Boy Scouts.
One thing that one of the reasons why I joined Scouts in the first place is that there's a point in my life where I just figured out that I just have way too much free time on my hands.
All right.
Like way too much. And it's like I thought, you know what? Why not? I'll see what it is. And a couple years later, I'm here.
All
Yeah,
right.
I've been doing it.
It teaches you how to survive. as
Yeah,
well.
how to survive, how to just do different stuff, and it's just fun in general.
Yeah. It'll definitely teach you some new stuff that you'll probably like.
You
stick
end up
with.
using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like CPR, like a year ago we learned how to like do CPR, and that was actually really helpful because you never know like,
Exactly.
when stuff like
In
that.
that
will happen.
situation, and like right now we're learning about life saving,
Yeah.
and that also is something you probably
Never.
will
would
never
learn.
use it, but in the case it happens, you're there.
Exactly. See.
And it's one of the great reasons why Boy Scouts should definitely be something you should consider.
Have you
It's
guys have you guys have any scary situations in Boy Scouts?
No.
No, not
Not
necessarily.
in Boy Scouts, no. We, thankfully,
Yeah.
haven't gone through anything messy. And yeah, it's been going pretty good so far.
I've basically been here since quarantine, and we haven't been able to do much. But this year's, we're planning on doing a lot of stuff.
More, definitely.
Like definitely a lot more stuff. I'm pretty sure this week we're going to a beach.
Oh
to
yeah,
clean up.
next Saturday we're gonna do
Yeah.
a beach cleanup.
Cool.
Beach cleanup.
Cool. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there.
Yeah, and Boy Scout uniform. Because
Yes.
if not, the Eli would kill us.
Have you guys done the arrow?
No, I'm not on the arrow. I'm a webmaster. And you are too, right?
Yeah, I'm also
We're
a webmaster. Yeah.
For the arrow, I think you guys need to have how many nights? 20 nights or something like that of camping?
I
And
Let
no,
me
we
know,
definitely. To be honest, I really haven't heard about that. It sounds cool, but
You gotta do the arrow. if you
Yeah,
wanna
we
be a
gotta do the
man.
arrow. We'll tell the Valle about this.
If you wanna
yeah,
be
we
a
definitely
man,
bring this up to
then
the
Valle, you gotta. What grade
Yeah,
are you guys?
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm a
11th grade?
senior.
You're a senior.
He's
You
a
gotta
senior.
do the arrow,
I'm
man.
in 10th. I'm in 10th.
Man, if you want to be a man, you gotta do the arrow.
Exactly.
Especially the first one,
Yeah, definitely.
because it's kind of like the army.
Oh.
Ooh.
You're gonna
Yeah,
be there
I'm
with
interested.
limited
interested.
food. You won't be able to talk.
I'm
Ooh,
interested.
I like
Ooh.
that.
There's a
talking.
vote of silence,
Mm.
and
Pedro would not survive. Shout out Pedro.
and
Shout out Pedro.
you're gonna be without light as well, because
Like light?
you're not allowed to
Yeah.
use the lantern, and you only have 3 matches to light.
So it's like a
fire.
safety scenario. They just put you in there, like, okay, survive for this.
Well,
one phase.
you're always gonna be in a pack, but it's gonna be very dark, and you're gonna be very uncomfortable.
Ooh,
It's gonna
wow.
make you a man.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, uncomfortable situations makes a person. You know,
That's
it
true.
builds you.
Sure.
Okay. Get
And
back
Valle,
on
you gotta
topic.
put these guys
Oh God, exactly.
on the arrow.
You know, since we're here in the Mid Ones podcast,
Yes, sir.
basically funded completely by the film club. Film club being a very young, very
Shout out.
new club brought by our founder Aidan. But was shout out other film. And what were your first thoughts when they brought up film club to you? What was your first thoughts?
Well, you were asking me first questions. What do I do here in school? And one of the things that I also do is the marketing.
Yeah.
And this is
Mm.
marketing.
So
So
free
when
marketing.
you guys,
marketing.
yeah, of course. When you guys
Exactly.
talked to me about film club, I was like, "Bing, awesome, let's do it."
Great.
Yeah, you guys are creative. We could do something the school hasn't done ever. So definitely, it was a great idea. I loved it from the start.
Yeah.
Great. And
It's-
hopefully it would grow into a
I'm
club
pretty-
that lasts long
I'm pretty
time.
sure it's already one of the biggest clubs in
Oh,
the school.
definitely. It's probably
Yeah.
one of the most funded too.
Yeah.
Understandably though, because we are essentially your staff, like your media staff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely are.
Yeah.
And
It's
free.
cool, you know?
That's,
Yeah,
that's
it's
even
cool.
better.
I've gotten to go to different events, taking pictures, and it's
And it's
genuinely
definitely
fun.
an experience.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
It's-
Just being there.
It's an
actually.
experience that will stick with me for a while.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot of things because
Yeah, true.
you have to learn about audio, you have to learn
Yes.
about filming, you have to learn about script, you have to learn about podcasting.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
This is the first of many, as you said.
Yes,
podcasting.
dude,
Mid-ones.
we've had this idea since the first
Since the
Club
first
meeting.
day. Since the first
Awesome.
day.
it's club
Awesome.
meeting, and we're finally here doing it.
Podcasting is not as easy as it looks. Trust me.
No, yo, shout out Joe Rogan. Shout out every other podcaster out there that do this on the
For a
daily.
living, dude.
For a living,
God.
bro.
Well, he earns I think it's 100 million a year.
Oh yeah, because
So-
he has like several companies. there
Yes,
as well.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
definitely.
But
Definitely.
he's been there for 10 years
True.
before he got to the
It's been a
to the 3 million to the
slow grind.
100 millions. Plus, he's a comedian and he's also you
He's
know,
also like a commentator in
another
the
level.
UFC too. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the crazy stuff. Okay, bad. Again. Okay, let's see what we have here. This is a very important question.
No,
Okay.
not this
This is a
one.
very important question.
Not
Do
this
you
one.
believe in aliens? Yet why or why not?
That's a very cool question. Do you listen to Joe Rogan?
Not at all.
No.
My dad does though.
Okay.
Shout out my dad.
I do too, and he definitely is more in that area, on the aliens area. There's been some reporting from I think the Navy pilots or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's like this
They saw like a
neural footage.
blip or something like that, but I'm more of like I need to see it to believe
See.
it,
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah,
Understandable.
I don't dismiss it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
right now
You need evidence.
I need evidence.
It's definitely a possibility.
Okay, here's like
Yeah,
my.
that's a very big universe. So
Yeah, exactly.
maybe.
That's my mentality. Like in this infinitely expanding universe, and we're the only living things in it. Like that's
I mean,
the living planet
living planet exactly.
so
like,
far.
So far, but I just to me it's not logical that we're the only living like in the infinitely expanding universe. We're the only things here. Like
yeah, this kind of topic is really complex because you
Definitely.
also have to take in mind like where we're standing at. Because like depending, let's say there's a planet like 2 billion light years away, there might be living things right now, but like the light that's coming from it doesn't show
Yeah.
any living things. So
Exactly.
like you never know.
exactly, and it's just like there's this topic that like the aliens are way advanced, like the advanced technology now. What if they're just like us? What if they're just far away and we just haven't found each other and they're just
Sure.
like us?
I don't know. It could be like the colonization of America. Like
Oh.
they've like Christopher Columbus came to America and they're like, oh my god, weird humans. You know, they're kind of like us, but no. So
Yeah.
it could be something like that. You know.
Definitely.
Who knows? Who knows? The thing I think it was there's this science guy. He had a program called Cosmos. You know what I'm talking
Is he
about?
like the astronaut that lived in the satellite?
No.
for
He's
years?
I forgot his name.
Neil deGrasse.
Neil
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 deGrasse.
Tyson.
Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse.
Yeah. Joe Rogan talked to him about that, and he said, "Well, here's the thing. Everyone now has a camera, a
Yeah.
very good working camera, and there's no evidence so far about aliens here in our planet.
On our planet, yeah, that's
So-
the one thing.
From my perspective, I definitely need to see some evidence to know for sure, but who knows?
I definitely
Who knows?
don't agree with people that say there's aliens in our planet right
Oh
now.
yeah, in our planet, definitely not.
Definitely no.
Like I highly doubt that they're like hiding.
Mark
Like-
Zuckerberg.
The lizard people. I will say though, like there was this just period. I think it was like during the pandemic where like a bunch of things were happening, like a bunch of crazy stuff. Like
A lot of stuff was happening at the same time.
like it was around that time where like that image like went viral of like the UFO
Yeah.
and like stuff like that. And I heard stuff about multiverse theory, like almost getting proven and stuff like that. It's like a bunch of crazy stuff. But I think that because of the internet, we're so desensitized that to the point where nobody just talked about it. It's like, oh, cool,
No,
like,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And we just moved on.
We
It was
basically
like,
moved on like a week after.
exactly. It's like that, and it's just happening over and over again with not only memes about what's happening now. It's like I said, we're living history, but we're being so desensitized of the speed of everything happening
Sure,
that we're
yeah.
just not. I don't want to say reacting properly, but we're not.
Reacting properly.
Exactly. Like for example,
Queen Elizabeth.
I imagine you've heard the news of Her Majesty Queen
Of
Elizabeth.
course, yeah.
May she rest.
Shout out the
Shout out the
royal
royal
family.
family.
and it's
They're definitely gonna see this.
absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
And it's definitely a weird area because like, it's the death of someone, but everyone's treating it like a meme. Because I will admittedly say she's not a very liked person. Like nobody really.
I don't know why she's not liked, but
I think it has to do with like some history stuff. I have to do some research.
Maybe some youth things, because like she was born in 1926,
She lived through like
World War II.
exactly. She lived through World War II.
A
She
lot of
wasn't even
stuff.
supposed to be the queen. She was like
Nah, she
her
wasn't.
brother, but then he left for like some woman,
Yeah.
and then she was like, oh, okay.
Simp.
You know more than me.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Let's move on here. Let's move on to a little more sillier questions. What hobbies to enjoy? What outside of school, in the weekend or during vacation? What do you like to do to keep yourself busy?
Sure. I obviously love to be with my family. I have 3 kids. I used
Shout
to shout out to. I don't know if they want me to say their names, but shout out to Juan Pablo, Sergio, and Arturito.
Oh,
Um,
I've met Sergio. He's a cool kid.
Yeah, I've also met him. He's
pretty cool.
pretty cool.
It's kind of like mini me or more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like bike riding. I
Like BMX.
no.
No, like regular.
I do
Just
mountain
regular.
bike. I do mountain biking and road bike. Last Saturday, not this one, the other one, I did 100 miles.
Ooh, that's
From-
good biking. That
Damn.
is.
Yeah.
That is
It
hard.
took us around 7 hours.
That
So I
is-
like that. I like weightlifting.
Dude,
I used to
Get
do
ripped out here.
triathlon. I did the Ironman.
oh, you did Iron
did
Man?
Iron
I
Man?
did the
That's
Ironman.
crazy.
Wow. Wow.
I just did it, crossed it off my list, and
Yeah,
no more Ironman for me.
yeah, it's
but,
definitely.
but I did that, yeah. So
Nice.
that's basically what I've been doing lately.
That's cool. Like a lot of fitness-centered things.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really cool. It's definitely something that people, cause I see like example for like biking that takes a lot. Like to do that
Yeah.
full time too.
It takes
A lot of
Oh, yeah.
dedication.
Yeah.
A lot of. Like I
Hard
imagine,
work.
like 100 miles. I imagine you couldn't even feel your legs after that. I imagine.
Well, the professionals do it
All the time.
basically
All the
for a
time, yeah.
month in the Tour of France. They do like 100 and something miles every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And they
Yeah.
do it like they do it like a 27 mile speed average
Damn.
to 27, 30 miles.
27
I do like
miles an
18.
Yeah, dude, and I've seen some
And
really
that's a
fancy
lot.
bikes.
I've
too.
seen some really
Oh,
fancy
yeah.
ones. There are some fancy ones out there.
Fancy bikes that cost more than a house. I imagine.
Not more than a
No,
house,
I
but
doubt it's more than a house.
close to
Yeah,
a
true.
car.
Close
Yeah,
to a car.
close
Yeah,
to a car, yeah.
definitely.
It's like
Depends on your budget. If you want a
Yeah.
good bike, if you want to do road biking, and you want to start and have a decent bike, you should have like $1,500, $2,000.
Yeah.
wow, 15.
And that's
$1,500.
you know,
yeah, just pocket change.
Yeah, it's pocket change.
not pocket change, but you know that's not super cool bike, but
Yeah, it's
a decent
workable.
bike.
It's workable,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
But if you want a really cool bike, you know, about 5,000
I'll just
So
do it
yeah,
on
it's
the
better
treadmill.
than buying JPEGs.
True.
or NFTs.
Don't. We don't want to
And
get
it's-
there.
We're not going into
We're not
that.
gonna
Crypto.
get there. We're not gonna get there.
No.
Okay. You know, since you're here in the film club, we talk a lot about movies,
Oh yes.
and we definitely all have some favorite movies. Could you tell us some of yours?
Wow, I haven't thought of that in a long time. Favorite movies like all time or
Like,
Of all
you could
time.
also just give us a top three.
Like-
Yeah, top three, top
Top
five.
three, or you could just give them one that you really
for
like.
this year or
Just
It doesn't
whatever,
matter, just
general.
whatever.
oh man. Wow.
I
That is a very
For
tough
me,
question.
I definitely like the early Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Oh, for
Because-
real? Like the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Sure, I definitely like the Star Wars trilogy when
Shout
came out. I wasn't
Mark Hamill.
alive yet, but
For real. Dude, you want to know something crazy? I recently found this interview clip of Mark Hamill, and he was talking about how he had to convince George Lucas to change the screenplay or change like a part of the script because it was like inhuman speak. And like I cannot remember what he said, but you look it up. With Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
like George Lucas
Yeah.
script change.
Damn. Are you serious?
we got a problem with the producer.
Yeah, no worries.
He's nervous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. You're saying?
Well, you know, it's just out of my head. You know, in the past, let's say pandemic.
Yeah.
I think the best film that I've seen since the pandemic was Tenet.
Tenet?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's really good.
Christopher Nolan?
Yeah,
I think it
that's
is
a Christopher
Christopher
Nolan.
Nolan.
That's the best film that I've seen so far since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
After that, you know, there've been some cool films, but
Mm.
not really, you know, that gives you that feeling like that was awesome.
I was,
Yeah.
Actually, one of those movies I seen, I don't know if you've seen it, but I went, not recently, but like a couple months ago, I think it was like during 2021, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that one. I want to
Dude,
see
if
it.
you like philosophical stuff and like mind-bending stuff, you'll
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah.
All right.
It is probably one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's crazy. And I understand why you wouldn't like it, honestly, but it's as someone who enjoys, you know, topics like multiverse theory and like just philosophy in general, I really enjoyed it.
I recently watched
check it
Fantastic
out.
Mr. Fox. That is
Oh.
such a good movie.
I have to watch it.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Wes Anderson is such a good director, dude. I love Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
You know, dude. Fantastic Mr. Fox, low key underrated.
Yeah, that's the one with George. Clooney.
I
George
think.
Clooney.
Yeah.
Is it Clooney?
I don't know.
Shout out that guy. Yeah, shout out George.
Shout
Clooney.
out George Clooney.
Oh,
I
Top
guess.
Gun 2.
Oh,
Ooh,
Top Gun
Top
Maverick. That
Gun.
one was crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
good.
not watched it yet. I want to watch
It,
it.
that is actually crazy. And as someone who watched it without watching the original, it was really good.
I've not watched the original.
Yeah,
nor
they're
the
pretty
new
good.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's good.
A lot of crazy movies have come out during this,
Yeah,
at least the
definitely.
last couple of years.
Oh, listen, after the pandemic, I think the only, worst
Superhero movies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
superhero movies.
MCU
Not it.
stuff is definitely
Yeah.
because one
It's kind of
thing-
like jam packed.
Exactly, and one thing I will say, like, I think around the time I saw, Everything Everywhere, there was a movie that genuinely surprised me. It was the one with Nick Cage, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and it was it was kind of like a satirical biopic of his life, and like after like himself as what's the word, as someone who's kind of like fallen off and in a lot of debt,
Mm-hmm.
and how he kind of
Bankrupt.
gets back. Yeah, exactly, like bankrupt, and it's just the fact that he himself was willing to do it, and it was generally because in those jokes that were it was like one of the first time in a good while that I laughed at generally good jokes, and not how bad the jokes were, and it was like oh my god, it was so refreshing to see a genuinely good movie for the first time in a while, because I do.
Put it on the list. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's really good.
I haven't
It's
gotten-
it's like an action comedy, but it's a really good one with Nick Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage is a really good actor. He's been at it for a long time too.
The thing with
Yeah.
Nick Cage, he is a good actor, but like you could tell at some points he was just scrapping for anything
Yeah.
he could get his hands on.
Yeah. He was in a lot of debt.
Yeah, a lot of that, and he was just picking up any role that he's. Does he still count as an A-list? I would say he's still an A-list, right?
Yeah.
Or like an A-list actor. It's good.
Definitely.
It's good for him that he's now getting back on his feet, now with this new movie. And I think he's just before that he made another movie I think called Pig. I heard. I haven't seen it, but I heard it had a lot of like good
Yeah.
praise.
That's critically praised. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's see what else we have here.
Theme song.
Oh, the theme song. Do you want?
If you could choose any song to be your theme song, which one would it be?
Wow. You guys talking about movies and songs.
Yeah.
And that's
This is Film Club. We talk a lot about media. so
yeah,
we love
definitely,
media.
definitely. But those are things that I generally don't think about, like theme songs. It should be something catchy that sticks in your mind.
Evento de Oro.
But
Brujeria.
yeah, I have no idea. I
Yeah.
have no
The
idea.
thing is like.
To think about a theme song.
The theme song is like, I wouldn't even choose like a typical theme song. I would just, I don't know, maybe something like Off D's by JID, like
Ooh.
something like that. Because we're huge rap fans,
Yes.
And-
Hip hop fans.
hip hop fans definitely, and just a lot of the group are very into music,
Yeah.
and it's definitely one of those things that helped us a lot through the pandemic and all things of that sort.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good thing to be into, honestly.
Yeah. Most of the like film club, I'm pretty sure like one of the biggest departments
Oh,
that's not cinematography because everyone's in that one.
Was
is
the audio.
sound.
Yeah,
Is,
exactly.
like audio department.
Well, if we're talking about film, the best part of each film is the music.
Oh, the
behind it.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
The soundtrack.
Definitely the score.
If you're in a thriller and you figure out that when you get scared by the
music. It's-
yeah.
It's one of these things because, like, you look at the early Star Wars episodes, and you know that one scene.
The songs just like
Yeah,
put you
exactly.
in the environment.
And do you know that one scene with Darth Vader in the dark, and he just lightsaber lights up, and you see the
Yes.
fear in everyone's eyes?
Oh my god.
If
that's
that
such a good
had
scene.
any other like background song, it wouldn't have been so
No,
impactful.
it wouldn't have hit.
If
the
it
same.
didn't have probably one of the most intimidating, like I like to watch a lot of video essays on this type of stuff. Shout out Drew Gooden. And he talked a lot about this stuff, and he made a really good point that if that scene had like, the typical Avengers theme song, and it wouldn't have been impactful at all
No.
because it's generally like Darth Vader's like theme
Mhm.
song. It's probably one of the most intimidating ones, at least at that time,
Yeah, it's
and
very
still
cool.
now.
It still is.
Very cool.
It's
And
definitely-
you saw the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, no, I
I
haven't
have
seen it yet.
not seen
You
it.
have not?
I want
Nah,
to
the
watch
thing
it,
is,
though.
when it comes to a lot of shows that are just going viral, I
The
tend not
final
to.
final 2 episodes are very cool.
Yeah.
The first, you say like, oh come on,
Yeah.
but the last 2,
I'm pretty sure there's
Very
6
cool.
episodes in total.
Yeah, around
Obi-Wan.
six.
Yeah.
Recently, like Disney Plus has been going on the streak of just making, which I guess sometimes work, but sometimes it just doesn't end up working out because a lot of the shows tend to be pretty short.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
high budget shows, you know, with like all the MCU stuff and now stuff like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and a bunch of new stuff they're going on, and you can definitely some of the stuff. For example, one of the few good things the MCU has, in my opinion, come out with the Moon Knight show.
Definitely.
That was
Moon
good.
Knight.
You've seen
Knight's
Moon
Oh,
Knight?
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And
They're doing a second season.
they're doing a second season, which I don't know how to feel about. I kind of want to see it because the last episode did leave me like, I kind of want to see something different. But there are times where, in shows specifically, am I rambling?
No, just keep going. Just keep going.
I'm sorry. I tend to ramble sometimes. And with shows, you know, there's a set plan, but then the show gets so popular that they have to extend it, and sometimes that just ends up
Exactly.
killing the show.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
We'll see in the next episode. This one was because it was unique. It was
Yeah, it was
very, very
definitely-
mind blowing.
It was definitely
very,
a different take.
Yeah.
And
Kind of scary, but
It's
my
scary.
kids could watch it. But it was
I
not
don't
that
know about
scary.
kids.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
It was
I
really good.
liked
Oscar
it.
Isaac was amazing.
Oscar
Yeah.
Isaac is such a good actor.
Definitely.
Like the point you said about series getting popular and then like extending it a bit, you could say the same for like Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause, like
definitely.
I feel like it could have ended at season 1 and it would have been a good show.
Exactly.
But they kind of extended it, and now season 4. Not saying season 4 is bad, but like
It's definitely
it doesn't
Yeah.
milked.
exactly.
I saw first episode, second episode.
Yeah,
and
it's
that.
and we have sadly seen the falling of a lot of good shows. Community, what's the other one?
You saw Community?
Yeah, I love Community.
That's
It's
Oh, wow.
probably one of my favorite like comedy shows.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
The
it's good.
Office kind of got
The Office happened
dried
to
out,
Office.
dude.
It happened
Uh.
weirdly happened to a lot of comedy shows that got really popular.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with all that popularity, obviously they want to continue it, but all that just scrapping for new shows. The 70 shows happened to the 70 show,
That was a
yeah,
good one.
yeah,
and it's definitely a risky choice to do.
yeah.
Well, we're in the business of taking risks.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of the things that a lot of times it does pay out.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly. High risk, high reward. And you will end up with this cult following almost that
Yeah.
really
Like enjoys the
Exactly.
type of content you're putting out.
appreciates it
Exactly.
deeply.
It doesn't matter what you put out, like they'll still kind of like
Yeah.
it, even if it's complete trash. They would still like
Most
it.
of the MCU stuff now. Yeah. I imagine you've seen some of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Eternals
the
was
last,
really bad.
I don't know about you guys, but the last Doctor
Eternals
Strange.
was really bad. I
It
didn't
was-
like
okay,
it.
I have to rewatch it, but I honestly think Eternals is kind of overhated.
Okay, what
Have
I
you seen
didn't
Eternals?
what I didn't like about
It
Eternals was
wasn't
that
bad, but it wasn't good either.
Exactly.
it didn't
Yes.
move. It moved so fast that
That's
you
true.
just
The pacing is off.
It's really off.
It was
like,
Eternal, though.
oh, you're in England,
Yeah,
and
nice
then
one.
you're in.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't-
very kind of like,
Yeah, like a lot of stuff at the same time. Everything
Yeah.
everywhere all at once.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a stickler for just character design and like, you know how
Character
they use their
development.
not character development, but like how the special effects and how everyone uses their powers and how everyone has a specific power.
Yeah.
How they use it, I kind of like that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the actual plot to it, and yeah, I see what you're saying.
Also, I
Do you like kind of like Do you like RPG stuff?
Yeah, I'd say I'd get
RPGs.
into it.
I'm gonna recommend you a book, and if you hear it on audiobook, you're gonna like it even better. But you can read it; it's pretty good. It's called "He Who Fights with Monsters."
He Who Fights with Monsters. I'll
It's
definitely look into
excellent.
it.
It has right now 7 books, and the number 7 comes out tomorrow. And I already
Ooh.
heard all 6 of them.
That's really
It's
cool.
a very cool. It's a very cool series. You're
I'll
gonna
look
like it.
into it definitely.
If you like that kind of stuff, you'll
Yeah.
like it.
I have not heard of that book, but I'm kind of interested now. Just the title itself kind of interests me.
Yeah, and
Is that
definitely.
the box out? Or
Yeah.
Like the cover.
Yeah.
It's an
audiobook.
Oh, it's on the audiobook. He Who Fights. It looks cool.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
I
What
also
I like
rec-
about audiobooks is that I can drive and hear it. I
Yeah.
can do exercise and hear
Yeah.
it when I don't have time for
You
reading.
could just relax with it.
Yeah, And recently also I've just been wanting to get more into like reading books more.
But you can read it too.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
read it very easily because the author has for the audiobooks comes tomorrow for book number 7, but he does some Patreon and he puts the entire book, at least the 50% of the book for you to read for free.
Mm.
So I started reading. It reads very fast also. It's a
Yeah.
very good one.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out to the author
Exactly.
of He Who Fights Monsters. He's definitely gonna watch this. All the people we
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out,
Definitely.
all the
Oh,
people
yeah.
who shout out, definitely gotta watch this stuff.
The mid ones,
100%.
Mid
I
ones.
love it.
Mid ones.
It's gotta go
on
crazy.
top.
It's gotta go.
Gotta go
you know,
viral.
Yo, sorry, Joe Rogan, but we gotta take the #1 spot. You know,
Exactly.
you feel me?
We're gonna see clips of this on TikTok.
Oh God. Hey, no, clips of it and like over Subway servers.
Dude, the Minecraft parkour videos.
Oh my God, the Minecraft parkour videos. I imagine you're not into. Or are you? I don't know.
I don't know.
my
the
kids do
TikToks.
Minecraft, but TikTok. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not on
it's-
TikTok. You know.
It's probably for the best. Honestly. It is.
It's really for the best.
It's really for the, but you don't need to.
I
get
go
into
as
it.
far
There's
as
so much-
Facebook and Instagram. That's
Yeah,
kinda
stick
where-
to
Yeah,
where I'm at.
stick to Facebook.
Stick to that. Besides, most of the TikToks just get onto reels anyways. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
missing
yeah.
out.
All right.
Well, I guess just for the questions that were said, I'm pretty sure that's all of it.
Sure.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Check real quick.
You wrote them down. Which question are you missing?
No. I think we've done all of them. It's just the imaging of just me looking into this is really funny.
Jang, any question you have?
Any
You have
questions
any
for
questions?
our homie here? No questions? No,
No.
nothing to butt in? No?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
Wow.
Anything to add?
No, not really. I think that's good enough to end our first episode.
It's great
All
first
right.
episode.
Great.
Awesome first
Actually,
episode.
fantastic.
Sure. I want to congratulate you guys.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
You've been
Wow.
great host. I
Great.
really liked
Thank
it.
you very
made
much.
some questions that were very hard to answer.
Really creative.
Yeah.
Really creative.
I wasn't really thinking about the movies and
Unique
all that kind of
answer-
stuff.
unique
So,
questions.
Very cool.
Unique answers and new questions. Thank you
All right,
for
guys.
joining
Have
us.
a good one.
It's been great. It's been awesome. This and for the first episode, I think we're gonna have a couple of solo episodes and maybe
Maybe.
interview someone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, Del Valle, watch out.
We're coming for you
We're
next.
coming for you. Your butt is gonna be on this chair. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching or listening, and I hope we see you come back for the next episode.
Yes.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Mid ones.
Middle.